Well, I think a lot of times it's individual mistakes. I think we have a very good system in place, and we showed it last year that we're more than capable of playing that system and um, being a very good team defensively. And for us, it's just a matter of getting back to that and playing with intensity, playing with fire, and compete.
Todd said yesterday he didn't want to throw out 6 weeks of really good hockey by being too hard on the last 3 games, but at the same time you got to kind of get back there. How's your guys' mindset on what's happened recently versus how well you're playing?
Yeah, I totally agree. I thought we played some really good hockey over a good stretch there before the last 3 games, and we dipped a little bit the last 3 games, and we're not in a position where we can afford that. So we have to make sure that we get back on track tonight.
Coming into that New Year's Eve game was just one of those nights, and it's kind of almost easy to bounce back because you're motivated to kind of respond as a team.
Yeah, obviously after a game like that, you're always looking to bounce back and come out with a strong effort. We also know that LA is a very, very good team right now, and it won't be an easy night. So, like I said, we have to make sure we're ready to go right off the bat.
You guys have had some, 6-2, 8-2 wins even, and then some tough nights like the other night. Where do you think the feast or famine type of results are coming from? Just sort of a wild swings in results.
Yeah, inconsistency. I think with our team, it's been like that all year. We can't seem to find to string too many games or good games, solid, tight checking games together in a row. And for us, it's time now. It's time to do that and time to string in some points.
You're coming into a stretch now where you play a lot of Pacific Division games. Is this kind of what you guys have been looking for, sort of the light where you kind of semi-control your own destiny?
Yeah, for sure. I think obviously those games against our own division are huge right now, especially in the position we're in. We can. This is where we make up some ground. So, again, the next 2 games are huge for us.
Thanks, Leo.
We have to be a little quicker, a little more aggressive. It's a great opponent coming in today. So, yeah, that's what we're focusing on.
Are you surprised that you've given them up as much recently as you have? Like, did you think that with everybody being healthy and the D-Corps being together that it would go the other way? Like, are you surprised that I think it's 11 goals, or how many goals is it? 13 goals in 3 games or something?
Yeah, of course. I'm surprised, but it's obviously it doesn't really matter who you got in the lineup. We still have to get the job done, and as late we haven't, so we have to step it up, but we're gonna get through it.
Do you look at New Year's Eve and just go, it's last year, it's New Year, and just kind of move forward easily, or how do you kind of handle coming off a game like that?
Well, it wasn't pretty. It wasn't the way we drew it up, and but we're still in it. We're in it together, so we're moving forward.
Thanks, Don.
How does a guy feel when you're back in after sitting out a couple? Is it adrenaline? Is it?
I think for me, I mean, that's 2 games for me to kind of rethink the last few games that I've played and kind of go from there. I think that this is a better way for me to, take a step back by taking 2 steps forward, kind of thing. And yeah, I'm excited.
Has it been a seamless kind of transition for you, or do you still have to kind of figure out new systems or things like that?
No, I mean, everything's kind of been straightforward since I've been back. The system hasn't changed a whole lot. A couple of tweaks here and there, but I felt from day one that I came in here as a confident individual, and I still feel that way. And I feel like there's an elevation to my game that has to come out of me still. But I'm definitely happy with the progress that's been made, and I think that starts with just being familiar with everything.
And just you have the confidence of the coaching staff, which maybe I don't say you didn't have it in Montreal, but they know what you can do. I guess, does that help a lot?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, those guys put me on the ice, right? And I need to perform to stay on that ice, and I think that's the relationship we have right now. As long as I keep doing my part, they're going to keep putting me out there, and hopefully I can relish in that and take everything from that.
Right side or left side, it doesn't matter to you?
You know what? That's a funny question. Obviously, I'd like to be on my strong side. I think anybody would like to be on their strong side, but I played the right side before, and I don't think anything's going to change. Just a little bit different challenge for me, maybe a tougher one, but yeah, for sure. I mean, when you take the puck off the boards, your eyes are already, away from the middle of the ice, and that causes a little bit of issues. But hey, that's the way this game works. I know that happens to a lot of guys, and it's an opportunity for me to step up.
And if you can play right or left, then you're becoming a little more versatile, like Russell and the other guys can play both sides.
Yeah, exactly. I still want to keep rounding out myself, but I also want to put myself in good positions, and keeping on this right side of things, I think that's going to help me play more minutes and play with a higher defense pairing.
Do you subscribe to the whole theory righty-lefty thing? That's become the vogue the last couple of years, where you got to have a right side guy, right shot, or left shot, right shot. In the old days, you just took the 6 best defensemen. It didn't matter if you shot left or right.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes we try to use that as an excuse, I think, for some things, but it does make a difference for sure. Your body's open to the middle of the ice. Your head will be up that way, and it doesn't it doesn't limit you to certain plays. Where if you're on your backside, I think that you definitely have to be a little bit more careful and make sure you pick your spots.
And team-wise, how urgent is the situation getting, especially with a bunch of Pacific Division games coming up here?
Yeah, I mean, we need wins. That's what we need right now, and I think that we need to regroup after the last couple games. Definitely had a good stride going into Christmas, and we kind of want to build off of that. We want to learn from the last couple and move forward.
after the Winnipeg game. What kind of coaching tactic or any needed to get a team that played that way 2 nights ago to play better tonight?
Well, yesterday was a busy day. It wasn't a comfortable day for everybody in the organization based on the effort and the outcome of the Winnipeg game. And it was uncomfortable for me. It was uncomfortable for our coaching staff. And it was certainly uncomfortable for a lot of the players when we reviewed the game collectively and then individually. We sat with groups. We sat with individuals. There were some positives in the game that we needed to accentuate, but most of it was holding individuals accountable, putting individuals on notice, if you will, and trying to improve. And that was the video part, that was the meeting part. Practice, we worked. It wasn't overly long, but we worked. We got back to that. I thought our leaders in practice showed up to work, which was a real good sign. Connor had a determination in his stride. The other guys that were the season A's, they were committed to working in practice. So indicators say that they'll respond. Now we've got to put it on the ice tonight against Los Angeles, and that isn't an easy task. As I said yesterday, some teams get in the way, and LA's one that can do that.
Apparently, Jujhar Khaira was one of the guys skating as an extra forward yesterday at practice. What was the rationale behind that?
I don't know if he was an extra forward or not. We have a bunch of extra guys on lines. We go with 4 guys on 3 lines sometimes. So I wouldn't categorize him as an extra guy on a line.
Along those lines, Todd, and I know we've asked you about Ovitu a couple times, potentially playing forward. Given the disappointment of the last game, are there any changes or
potentially? Yep.
Will Ovitu play tonight?
There will be. There can be some changes. There also can be some opportunities for recovery as well. When you when you hold your son or your daughter accountable and you turn them out, for whatever they've done. You open the door and you send them back out again. You hope they behave or they act better the next time out. And sometimes you react that way as a coach, and you open the door and you see if they can respond to their guidance, if you will. So there's 2 routes we can go.
On Khaira specifically, he maybe earlier on this season and even in years, he was really good some games, but then the game would disappear for a few. There was an inconsistency there. He seemed to buck that this year and earn himself some time. Do you feel he needs to get back to that? What have you thought of him lately? And I mean, that inconsistency that he hasn't shown, has it crept back in?
Well, we're talking about JJ as an individual. He had a poor game the other night. There was 19 others and 4 coaches that matched that. Where it's evident is how well he's been playing. That's why you're asking me about him. He's been playing so well. So I'd like to focus on that. He's been a big part of our team, and he's been playing so good and making so many good things happen that when he has that off night and doesn't play well, it really stands out like a sore thumb. But for me, that's a compliment to him for what he's done in the past. So let's see if we can get him back there. We don't want him to slip and get back to that comfortable level because I think he's become a real important player for us.
Todd, can you talk about Matt Benning's play as he slipped back again after a long stretch where he's starting to come on?
Yep, like a lot of young defensemen, ebbs and flows throughout the year. Struggled to begin with, had really good segment. Right now, it's not happening for him quite as well as he would like. And it gets magnified with the type of goal he gave up the other night. But that's one small segment of his play. We've got to look at the whole thing, and he knows he needs to be better.
Just to clarify, would you rather just wait till game time, whether OV2's in or not, and potentially playing up?
Yeah, we'll still look at, we haven't even seen LA skate today. We're not sure what they'll do. We'll figure it out.
Okay, and just from the standpoint of trying to cut the goals against down a little bit, the penalty kill obviously is important, but from a defensive play standpoint, what have you focused on the last couple of days, just 5-on-5?
Effort. If you just go back 2 days, that's today and yesterday, and without outworking teams, it doesn't matter what you do systematically or line match or defensive pairs or anything like that. You've got to at least bring your effort level up to what's acceptable at the National Hockey League level, and then from there worry about adjusting. And reviewing the 3 games since Christmas, I thought we had good effort in Winnipeg. We weren't overly smart. The Chicago one, we wavered a little bit. Obviously, the stinker against Winnipeg here at home was unacceptable. So we'll see where we go tonight.